If the world ended tomorrow and they fade to black, would it be a tragedy? To the Creator, it would be a tragedy. To us, who cares? Make a difference if we're having an effect. Then we kind of feel justified to exist. But a person who feels like they're having no effect, nobody needs me, nobody cares, I'm not affecting anybody, then I can't stand my own existence. And then you become suicidal. Way back when, as soon as I graduated yeshiva, and started counseling people, this woman approaches me and says, I'm going to kill myself. I said, why? She says, because everything is meaningless. It's all meaningless. I said, everything? Nothing has any meaning? She says, no. Nothing has any meaning. It's all meaningless. I said, so why do you have to kill yourself? Sit quietly. You'll die eventually. What's the difference? It's all meaningless. Can't do it. If you feel like you're meaningless, you cannot tolerate your own existence, which is actually a compliment to the human being. If I have no business being here, I cannot be here. Why? Because we are purposeful creatures. If I have a purpose, fine. If not, just hanging around, taking up space, can't do it. Now, the interesting thing is that there's often a conflict between my existence and my life. Like when people sacrifice their lives for a cause, they came to an impasse. It's either one or the other. So when there's a choice between life and existence, the obviously intelligent choice is to choose life. Because existence is depressing. So, for example, in a marriage, the wife says, I need more room. I don't have enough room. Give me some room. Give me some more existence. Gladly. Have the existence. I don't need it. It's depressing. Charity, for example, huge mitzvah. You take a dollar bill that is only good for your existence, and you give it to someone else to ease their existence, and all of a sudden you have a life. That's why the Torah says charity, giving charity brings life. Doesn't mean the life of the guy you're saving. It gives you life, because now you're making a difference. Whenever there's a choice between living and existing, choose life. See, that's what that means. Why does God have to say choose life? Well, who's going to choose death? The choice is not between life and death. The choice is between existing and living. You can be busy fixing your existence. I need more food. I need more drink. I need to sleep better. I need to sleep more. I need more security, a bigger house, more space. If you're busy doing that, you're not alive. You're not living. I think that that's what a midlife crisis is. You're busy improving your existence. And you're really busy. You're really doing it. You're into it. Then you reach mid-age and you figure, my existence is pretty much done. If I'm not a millionaire by now, it's not going to happen. If I don't have the big house and the yacht, it's not going to happen. So pursuing a better existence is pretty much over. And then you go into a crisis because you have no life. What's it all for? What difference does it make? And if you're not asking that question, your kids are asking. So the philosophy of life is, in the seesaw between existing and living, the more energy you put into existing, the less energy you have for life. The more energy you put into living, the less energy you need for your existence. So, for example, the Romans, the Greeks, the Babylonians, they were huge nations, empires, and they're gone. They just disappeared. What happened? They devoted themselves completely to their existence. That's all they wanted, is to ensure their continued existence. But their existence is gone. The Jewish people, on the other hand, right from the beginning of our history, Moses told us, you read it in the scripture, in Deuteronomy, I think, the description of what our future is going to be. Have you ever read it? It's describing a Holocaust. Page after page after page. You're going to suffer, you're going to be scattered, you're going to be killed, you're going to be pursued, you're going to be hunger, you're going to die from hunger, your kids are going to die. Whoa, 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 whoa. And then it goes on to another subject. So Moshe said this to the people. Here's the plan. You're going to come to the land, you're going to settle down, you're going to get comfortable, and then you're going to get thrown out and scattered. And the people must have said, like, that's the plan? Moshe said, that's your existence. Your existence is going to be terrible. So forget about it. Be busy living. This is the miracle of the Jewish people. When our existence gets really, really bad, we become really, really alive. We produce the greatest sages, the best books, the greatest writings. As it says concerning the Jews in Egypt, the more they abused them, the more they multiplied. You want to take my existence away? Fine, I'll have more life. And the strange thing is, they chose life, and we still exist. So it seems like if you're busy living, God will take care of your existence. If you're busy existing, well, then on your own, good luck. See what you can do. And they're gone. They don't exist. The idea of observing Shabbos. 6 days you should do your work, but on the 7th you should rest. Right? 6 days you should do your work means take care of your existence. Do the stuff you need, build a house, cook a meal. But on the 7th day, let it go. Whatever existence you have, it's fine. Focus on why you're alive. The purpose, the effect you're having, the influence you're receiving or giving. What is your life? It's a really good idea. As if God needs my approval. But it's really, it saved us. It literally saved us in the worst times of our history. When our existence was so miserable, we should have given up. But we had Shabbos. So once a week, the misery of our existence didn't bother us. We let it go. Probably a good idea for everybody. So that is the philosophy of life. And that's what we mean when we say a living God. God is a living God. We know he exists. That's not exciting. He's a living God. He interacts. He's involved. He cares. There's a life going on. And we live with him. Existence? Right now, what's going on in Israel? Existence is miserable. Rockets coming from 5 different directions. Everybody's running to the shelters. But people are so alive. It's the secret to our existence. You want to exist? Good luck. Ignore your existence, and you will outlive them all. What do you think?
A lot of what you're saying reminded me of Solomon, Shlomo Hamelech, Vanity of Vanities.
Yeah, if you read Ecclesiastes, he sounds really seriously depressed and should get some help. And he's the smartest guy in the world. It's not depressing. It's liberating. Don't depend on your intelligence. Don't depend on your existence. Don't. It's a very powerful lesson. Okay, your turn.
Mind if I ask a clarifying question?
No, that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's very insightful. Would you say that there's, when you're talking about the philosophy of life, that there's a difference when giving to others and living with others of that you're describing the quality of life or the value of that life?
Just the fact.
Distinction that you make?
Yeah, just the fact. Like, for example, we tell our children to share, right? We teach them, oh, you have to share.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a bad message because the friend comes over to play and you say to your child, you have to share. Kid says, no. You say, you have to share. What have you taught him? To hate sharing and to hate friends coming over because then you have to share. But we do. We teach our children you have to share, which is an element of life. But then we ruin it. We say you have to share because if you share, then when you go to your friend's house, he'll share with you. So we've turned it back into existence again. Get good grades. Study. Use your mind. Good life lesson. But we ruin it. We say study, learn well, get to know, master the subject so that you can get into a good college and make a lot of money. Turned it back into existence again. So we're actually undermining life when everything we do has to have an existential benefit. This will help you with this, this will help you with that. Even saying, serve God, worship God, praise God, that way you'll get to heaven. See, you just killed it again. Getting to heaven means you're going to continue existing. In other words, personal benefit. So if everything we do is for personal benefit, we're not living. So what should we tell children? When your friend comes over, give them some candy. Why? Because it's nice. But then I won't have candy. Yeah. It's nice. That's life. Life means get past your own existence. I mean, we do it all the time, but we don't realize. because we always look for the benefit to our existence. The commandment to give charity, by the way, applies to all people, even people who need charity. That's a very powerful statement. You're hungry, you don't have what to eat, you need charity. But you have to give charity too. In other words, yes, you need to take care of your existence, but don't forget to live. Make sense? Psychologically, what that does, the worst thing, and we see it today more than ever because we're affluent, the worst thing is not knowing why I'm here. How do I manage? How do I make it through life? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why are you alive in the first place? Nobody knows. So a kid says to his mother, I didn't ask to be born. Why do I have to clean up the room? What should the mother say?
Still don't do it.
I didn't ask to be born either. Because nobody asks to be born. This is a dilemma. I didn't ask to be born, but I have all sorts of responsibilities and needs and threats and dangers. And what kind of plan is this? I didn't ask for any of this, and yet I have to put up with it? You know, you got to put up with the bad along with the good. No, I don't. Who did this to me? So you blame your mother. Why did you have me? She doesn't know. You didn't ask to be born? I didn't ask to be born. Grandma didn't ask to be born. What do you got all the way back to Adam and Eve. Why did you do this to us? You should have remained celibate. You couldn't help it. God created you, but you didn't have to make us. No, this question is becoming a visceral discomfort. When 10-year-olds are saying, I didn't ask to be born, we better come up with an answer. And they're not depressed yet. They're just precocious. What? Why? Why am I here? As human beings, if we don't know why we're here, we're in trouble. Our mind will not let go of that question. It's a compliment. We're intelligent beings, and intelligence demands purpose, design, end goal. Where are we going? Where are we coming from? What's going on? In other words, my existence is no longer justified. See, in the olden days, the father wakes up his 10-year-old boy, 4 o'clock in the morning, got to go milk the cow. And then we got to go out there and plow the fields. The kid says, why? He said, because if we don't, we're going to die. The winter is going to come, we'll have nothing to eat, we're going to die. Well, you get up and you go. So for about 5,785 years, give or take, that has motivated all human beings throughout all of history. You got to get up and do it because otherwise you're going to die. Tell a 10-year-old today, wake up early. Why? What, you want to die? What? See, you got to get up and catch the school bus. Why? Got to get to school. Why? Got to get good grades. Why? Got to get into high school. Why? Got to get to college. Why? Got to get a job. Why? Got to pay the bills. Why? Oh, you want to be homeless and die? The kid said, that's why I have to get up. That's a stretch. And besides, I'm not going to die. You go on welfare. Death is no longer a threat. It really isn't. People are willing to do all sorts of dangerous things. They don't care. Something has changed in the human psyche. You can't motivate me by threatening me. It just doesn't work anymore. Because the ultimate threat is death. So, don't mess with the drugs. It will kill you. So, and you don't know what to say. Like, what? That was my biggest weapon. And it doesn't shoot anymore. You can't threaten people with hell. Oh, you don't behave yourself, you're going to go to hell. Threats just don't work. You got to have something better to tell me than, oh, you're going to get it. That's not an answer. It's just a threat. So don't tell me I have to work hard in order that I should not suffer. I don't like this deal. Then I'd rather not exist. Leave me alone. You remember when the world was terrified of the day after, the movie? The day after a nuclear... Kids were suffering psychologically because they thought it was going to be over soon. Today we have a completely different mentality. It's going to be over soon? Good. Let's put an end to this already. If the world ended tomorrow, everything just stops. The sun stops shining, the planets stop moving, life just ends and they fade to black. Who would care? Would it be a tragedy? For whom? If the entire universe disappeared tomorrow, it would make absolutely no difference to anybody. That's today's mentality. No, save the planet. Just let it go. I don't want to suffer, but if we could just get it over with. Would it be a tragedy if the world ended? Yes. To God. To the Creator, it would be a tragedy. To us, who cares? That just reinforces this whole idea. We don't really care about existing anymore. It's too burdensome. Our needs have become way too many. Can't handle it anymore. And can't justify it. I have 1,000 needs so that I can wake up tomorrow and have 1,000 needs. So it all boils down to, but the Creator, for him it will be a disaster. So the only reason we are here is to serve his purpose, because he created the world and needs us for something, which means, by the way, the world is not going to end tomorrow. It's not ever going to end. It's God's creation, and it's going to become perfect as his plan is, and we are partnering with him and making the world perfect. So our existence is important. The partnership, the contribution we're making to his plan. It's a good plan. When swords are beaten into plowshares, that's a good plan. When all pain becomes pleasure, when all tears get dried, when all bitterness turns to sweet, that's a good plan. In many ways, we're doing it. So God is only slightly disappointed. We are doing it. We all have a life. We just don't appreciate it because we're so distracted by our existence. Like a teacher. That's a life. You're teaching, you're educating, you're raising, you're molding the character of children. Yeah, but they don't pay me enough. Ruins it. This is something new. People want to serve God. They don't want help with their existence.